Good morning. Today we are starting with our gorgeous high body discus. Happy Saturday, Joel. And the exciting thing about these guys is they are 40% off this weekend through Monday. So if anyone has had their eye on these guys, now would be the time to spring for some. We have the golden and the red checkerboard. Hi, Mark. Welcome in, everybody. And we do also have some smaller discus varieties. I'll show you guys those. We have the red pandas and royal blues over here. And then a nice batch of the Sanmaras. And the white diamonds down here. Next to some really nice platinum angels. We have a lot of small angel varieties right now as well. I'll show you guys some of those. Some smaller red checkerboards, if you're not quite ready for the big high bodies. A lot of big Oscars in here, if anyone has been looking for those. Looks like we got quite a few trade-ins. And our small angel varieties up here. We have the green avatars. These are a neat one. They have some nice shine to their bodies. You can kind of see the green to them. And down here we have the koi angels. And the black angels. And these are all about an inch, 2 inches, if you're looking to kind of start a small group of those, and you can mix and match. And then we have some archer fish. These guys are pretty neat. They do prefer brackish water, but you can always kind of put them in with other things that prefer brackish water. But they do get quite large. They get 12 inches. We also have some nice, looks like almost long fin angels, veil tails. Smoky guys. And we do have a few key puffers left. These guys usually go pretty quick, but it looks like there's a couple still hanging out in there. Some more angels. And we do have one small arowana, one of the silver ones in stock. He's a pretty nice looking guy. It's almost got like a little bit of yellow to his tail. He's pretty. And then we also have some vampire crabs. I don't know if you can see him. He's up on the filter in the back there. But those guys are neat. Flower horn. And we do have, it looks like one piranha hanging out in the back. He's kind of a 2-inch fella there. Some tire track eels hanging out in the sponge filter. And a mud skipper, I'm not sure, we'll see, but he is in there. Oh, here's a mud skipper out on a rock for you. Oh, look at him. So these guys are pretty neat. They have cute little bodies, and they literally just skip around. Moving on to the Africans. We'll start from the end over here. So we've got rainbows, still have the red-tailed tinfoil barbs, and we also still have a lot of these really nice turquoise rainbows. Congo tetras. And the Madagascar and Bosmani rainbows are starting to color up pretty nice in this batch. You can see the males that are starting to get their bright orange. And we have a few different kinds of geophagus right now. Some little yo-yo loaches in there with the one Argentine humphead we have left. Green severums are still on sale, and those are in with the high fin Colombian sharks. Jack Dempsey. And then we have the Alto Sinu Genophagus. Those are a pretty good size at like the 2-inch mark, which is honestly a little bit bigger than we typically get the smaller Geophagus. Still have a couple of the balloon kissing gouramis. And these guys are in with the red hump Geophagus. And then we have some really gorgeous red spot gold severums. These guys are probably closer to 4 inches at the largest, 3 to 4 inches. They've got some really nice color to them. Ruby clowns, or Bolivian rams. Still have a couple of the glass fish, the humpheads. Kind of a unique one. They don't mind, they prefer slightly brackish water, but they're kind of worth it to have something so unique. And there is still a large clown loach in here. It's hiding in the sponge filter back there. Go over the Africans. We have some nice Frontosa up here. Some nice Julie spotted checkered Tanganyikans. And not as many Tanganyikans, still a lot of the Burchardi. Those are a pretty one. And we have the lemons if you wanted kind of a pop of color. We got the Compressiceps eye biters. These guys are pretty aggressive, but they have more of a unique shape for being an African Malawi. Some rusties. And we still have the balloon jewels that are pretty cute, very vibrant color. And these guys don't get quite as big as the regular jewels or quite as aggressive, I don't think. So they could go in with probably hacks and peacocks and be just fine. Then we've got your fancy goldfish. And I will be getting into more of the outdoor pond goldfish, as all of our pond fish are 20% off right now. And we also have some nice red cap orandas. And some lion heads down here. And I'll briefly go through the saltwater section. all of our corals are 30% off for Memorial Weekend through Monday. And a reminder that tomorrow night at 7 p.m., if you do want a more detailed saltwater live stream, Amanda will be doing that from now on. So remember to tune in tomorrow, and Amanda will kind of give you a more in-depth look at everything over here. Lots of clowns. Oh, looks like we do have a porcupine puffer back here. Those guys are always cute. Big trigger down here. And can show some of the corals. And like I said, Amanda will probably go over all of this a bit more in depth for anyone who's wondering. But all of the corals are 30% off. Inverts. And anyone kind of wondering how our coral pricing may work, we have the numbers in the table, and then we actually have this whole board here with all of our corals and the matching numbers. So if you want to browse our whole coral selection, you can actually look at this whole board and see most of everything that we have. Oh, thanks, Mark. We appreciate the support. Alright, getting into our freshwater inverts, we did get a lot of Neocaridina shrimp this week, so we are very fully stocked on those. We still have a good selection of our Caridinas in the black and red crystal, as well as the blue samurais, which are a little different. And lots of mystery snails. We did get a pretty good batch of the purple ones in that have the real nice purple shells. So there's a handful of those in here, kind of scattered about. But if you're looking for those, I'd come in pretty fast because those are probably our fastest sellers. And we also got some more ram's horn. That is a newer one for us because they have been on the DNR's restricted and prohibited list for quite some time. So it's pretty exciting to be able to sell them again. Good batch of the gold and the green jade shrimp, which are kind of a tricky one, but some of these actually came in looking pretty green, so that's exciting. And then of course we have lots and lots of cherry shrimp and some orange shrimp in there. A whole bunch of them this weekend. I think we were running kind of low last weekend. All our neorites hiding at the top of the tank. And we also did get a new shipment in of this fire and ice mix. This one sells a little cheaper than your other Neocaridinas, and you can kind of get a group of these. The fire and ice are going to be a mix of the blues and reds. So there's like blue jellies, blue reelies, red reelies, some cherries, kind of a little mix of everything if you just want to start something off in your tank and have some color in there. And then we also have a lot of Amanos. I think we got 200 in. And then in this tank we have the orange reelies and the golden pumpkins, which are a little bit different from the 24 karat golds. They have a bit more of an opaque coloring to them. Alrighty, continuing over here, we've got our big bristlenose boys still here. More of the platinum angelfish. And a few handfuls of the albino cherry barbs left. A nice bright one. Looks like we got in some big angels. We've got 2 tanks of them here. If anyone was looking for some larger adults, it looks like there's a pretty good selection of kind of colors and patterns to choose from. And in this tank we have the tire moray eels. Pretty awesome. They're in there with the red Nemo Oscars. So kind of an exciting tank going on here. And still quite a few of the golden balloon pearl gouramis. Pretty unique one. They only get 3.5 inches, so they're a great addition if you don't have maybe like quite a full 20-gallon tank to fit a full-grown gourami, but if you want something a little bit smaller in there. Still lots of these gorgeous rams. More rams. And still some butterfly fish hanging up at the top. And we have some of the lemon apistogrammas down here. And lots of cardinals, if anyone's hoping to come in for those this weekend. Still have quite a few of the mango plecos. Those guys are neat. They do get 11 inches though, so make sure you've got a big tank for those guys. Go through the hardy section. Looks like we've got a nice full tank of the Harlequin rasboras. Over here, we do still have our rainbow shiner minnows, 30% off while supplies last. I don't know if we still have more in quarantine, but we did at one point have a whole lot of them, and they are starting to color up quite nicely. It looks like someone ordered 17 of them online. So other than those 17, we still have lots left. We've got the Dark Knight rams back here. Still have a really good ram selection in stock if you're looking for those. Lots of the nice balloon ones. And lots of Cory cats to choose from. In this section we've got the orange Venezuelans up here. The pandas here. And the Juliais down here. And Sturbeis up here. So lots of those. We also have the dwarf chain loaches over here. These are kind of a neat one. And with the tiger barbs. Nice batch of those. And then in this tank we have Tandagaras, which are an exciting one. They're kind of a nice algae eater that doesn't get too big. All stick into the glass. They're pretty cute. And we also still have a whole tank of pygmy Cory cats. Super red bristlenose. And up here we have a really nice batch of the Odessa barbs. A lot of them are really starting to color up very nicely. Alright, and then down here So these guys are the balloon koi, and these are a new one for us. They kind of look more like a fancy goldfish, but they are a koi fish. And they're the platinum ones, so they'll stand out real nice in your pond. And they are the long fin. And because all of our pond fish are on sale this weekend, 20% off, that does include these guys. So it's kind of the best time to get them. And we also have the panda Mayan butterflies. These are a pretty popular one too. Alright, we can take a look inside. Alright, so coming out here, we've got all our pond fish in this section here. It looks like Steve's been stocking up on the koi. So we have the butterflies in here. And the smaller butterflies here. They're a bit more excited to come up. And then these are just the regular small koi. It's always hard to get good shots of these guys. Small, $7.99 price. Then we have all of our big comet goldfish on this side. Our large comets, extra large. And then some more koi over here in the larger sizes. We do also have koi inside that will be on sale as well, 20% off. Then we have the real large koi in this vat here. For pond plants, we got in a batch of frogbit, and I was able to get my first batch of red root for outside. And let's see here. So over here we actually have all of our Brightwell additives 15% more on sale. So kind of a great addition if you're getting those corals at 30% off and want to get them some little extra treats. We have all of those available there. I did get in some pretty large shipments of live plants this week. I got in lots of the jungle val and the cork val, and I do have more in the basement to restock those. And I also was finally able to get in lots of Monte Carlo. So I've got 15 pots of those. I do not have more of that one in the basement though, so once those are gone, they are gone until I can get more. Nothing too exciting here. I think all the regular things. I did get a new batch of the Limnophilia aquatica. It's been looking really nice, and the Pogo erectus as well. More of the large willow hygro and the 53B hygro. And I did also get some more coin leaf Anubias. This one is a little bit pricier, but it's also one of the kind of tougher Anubias leaves compared to the Coffeefolia. It's not quite the Coffeefolia, but it's kind of the closest you can get, and the Coffeefolia tends to be even more pricey, so that one's kind of a nice substitute for that. A few of the Pintos left, another kind of rare one that tends to go a little quick. A few different sizes of Amazon swords, lots of Java ferns below, and all of our assortments on driftwood and extra large Anubias. I also have some of the extra large Anubias on driftwood pieces. And I got in some more moss patches and moss rocks this week. So lots of the Java moss rocks and floating moss balls. And I did get new extra large Java ferns, so a new batch of those. Some terrarium plants. And I do not have any sales running on the plants for Memorial Day, but I will be bringing out more clearance plants if you're looking for anything to be on sale. Lots of floaters, a little bit of frogbit left, but that tends to be the first thing to go if you're hoping to get in for that. And I do also have some guppy grass right now. Again, that also goes really fast. I think that is everything for today, guys. And I hope everyone has an excellent Memorial weekend. Thanks for tuning in.